This is an example for number 5 on your mental math workout number 12. Notice I changed the numbers. So it says I had 12 marbles, I sold a third, and then gave away 25% of the remainder. I like to draw a picture to solve these. So I'm going to draw a rectangle, and that represents my whole, which I began with, which is 12 marbles. So then the entire thing is 12. It says that we sold a third, so let's cut it into thirds. And that's what we sold. So now we have to figure out what a third of 12 is. And remember, of just means times, so I'm going to multiply. And a third of 12 is just 4. So I sold 4 marbles. And then it says we gave away 25% of the remainder. Well, 25% is a fourth, so I'm going to cut the remainder into fourths, and a fourth of it is what we gave away. Well, if 1/3 of it is 4, then this bar over here is 4, but it's still cut into 2 pieces, so it means 2 and 2. And then I can tell that this fourth must be 2 also. And then if I want, I can say he must have given away 2 marbles. So it asks for how many marbles are left. So if I circle what's left, I can see that I have 6 marbles left after selling and giving away some of the marbles. Alright, this is an example of number 9 from your mental math workout set 12. And it says, what fraction of 4 centimeters is 20 millimeters? Well, before we can compare these two values, we have to first make sure that they have the same unit. So we're going to either have to convert centimeters to millimeters or millimeters to centimeters. And either way would work just fine. Okay, so I'm going to use King Henry. Died by drinking chocolate milk. And let's just change the 4 centimeters to millimeters. So I see that's a 1 move to the right. So 4 centimeters is equivalent to 40 millimeters. Now the second part of this question is what fraction of the 4 centimeters, which is now 40 millimeters, is 20 millimeters. And in these kind of problems, you want to remember is always goes over of. So is was 20 millimeters. Of was 40 millimeters. This is our new fraction comparing the two. We can simplify by canceling the millimeters. I can divide both the numerator and denominator by 10. So now we have 2/4. And then 2/4 reduces down to 1/2. So the fraction that we're looking for is 1/2. This is an example of number 18 on your mental math workout 12. And it reminds you that vertically opposite angles are congruent and that this triangle is an isosceles triangle. Now when it says vertical angles are congruent, it's talking about these two angles that open from the C vertex here in opposite directions. So if the angle on the bottom is 75 degrees, the opposite or vertical angle is also 75 degrees. And then, since it's an isosceles triangle, I see that these two sides are congruent, which means that my two base angles are also congruent. So if this side is 75 degrees, the other side is also 75 degrees. And if you'll remember in a triangle, the angles have to add up to 180 degrees. So if I take my 75 and my 75, we're currently up to 150 degrees, but we know that together with angle B, those angles have to add up to 180. So if we take the 150 from the 180, we get that angle B is a 30-degree angle. So I would say angle ABC, ABC It's this angle up here, measures 30 degrees. Now, just for a little check, it does look like that angle B is an acute angle, and 30 degrees is definitely acute, but don't always go by that, because on an SAT or ACT they'll say figures are not drawn to scale. So don't always go by what it looks like, go by what your numbers tell you.